Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aintree Racecourse here on Saturday. It is April the 6th, 2019. It's Grand National Day from Aintree, and I'm going to look at all the races on the program. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Also, if you're interested in some Kentucky Derby prep races, we have some great ones here stateside. Here in New York, you have the Wood Memorial. You also have the Bluegrass from Keelan and the Santa Anita Derby from Santa Anita. And I will have previews, tips, and selections for all those cards here on YouTube very soon. So go check out those videos. But today's card from Aintree, you can really make money with these races, and the Grand National looks very wide open. So we have 7 races to look at. Let's get straight to it. The first race, the 145 from Aintree, it is the Grade 3 Gaskell's Handicap Hurdle. It's a Grade 3 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $96,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 22 horses going 3 miles and 1/8 over the hurdle course. Since it's a very wide open race, I'll give you 2 horses that I like here. I'll put them both into an exacta or forecast, but they most definitely can be used into the place pot. The 2 horses I would use here would be the 5 horse Nadiak, and I would also use the 11 horse Gunfleet. So I would go 5-11 here in the opener from Aintree. We'll start off with the 5 horse Nadiak, or Naditak. This 5-year-old gelded by Telefio. Tom Bellamy gets leg up for Ben Pauling. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of March at Cheltenham. 3 miles in the Grade 1 Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. He finished 12th by 30 lengths, and he never got that good closing kick. He weakened out of it. You either like Cheltenham or you hate Cheltenham. He hated Cheltenham. He just couldn't get around the difficult course. But before that, Doncaster on the 26th of January, he ran a massive race in the 3-mile Grade 2 Albert Bartlett River Don Novice Hurdle, and he won by 22. He had 3 other rivals that day, and he just took off. It was a very easy run. And then before that, again at Doncaster on the 14th of December, 3 miles in the Novice Hurdle Class 4, he finished second by 3/4 length. The winner just ran that little bit of a better race, but he did get around the race course well. There's no doubt he should stay the trip. If you take out the Cheltenham run, he's been, pretty good so far this season other than that. And I think he's sitting on a good race. So 15 to 1, I'll use him along with the number 11 horse here, Gunfleet, can't speak, pardon me. Adam Wedge is on this one for Emma Laville. This horse hasn't been seen since the 17th of January. That came at Wincanton, 3 miles and 3/8 in a Class 3 Handicap Chase. Now, over the big obstacles that day, he didn't finish. He just kind of pulled up with it. He didn't stay the trip, and also he had a high weight. It wasn't his day to win, but I think coming back to the smaller obstacles, lesser trip, in distance, I just think he'll run a lot better. Before that, Cheltenham, 3 miles 1/8 in a Class 2 Novice Chase. He finished 3rd by 27 lengths, and he didn't quicken out of it, but he didn't weaken out of it either. He just, again, he stayed, but he never excelled. And then Exeter on the 14th of November, 3 miles in a Class 3 Handicap Chase. Finished second by a head. He had a little bit of a high weight, but he jumped well during the main portion of the race. He ran decently, and then his last start over the smaller obstacles at Doncaster in February of 2018, 3 miles in a Class 3 Handicap Hurdle. He won by a half length, and he took off clear at the end. It was a very good front end fashion winner. He's won his last 2 over the hurdles, but he hasn't run over the hurdles in almost 14 months. But I think coming here, lesser trip, not so demanding obstacles, I think he could get a piece of it. So 15 to 1, I'll definitely use him also. So to recap my selections for the first 145 from Aintree, it is the Grade 3 Gaskell's Handicap Hurdle. I'll use the 5 horse Natiak, and I'll also use the 11 horse Gunfleet. So I'll go 5-11 here. I'll put them both into the forecast exacta, and like I said, I'll definitely use them in the place pot. So now let's get to race. The second race from Aintree, the 225, it is the Grade 1 Mersey's Novice Hurdle. It's a Grade 1 race going for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $128,000, race for novice 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses heading to post, the distance of ground of 4,000 meters or 2.5 miles over the hurdle course. My top selection here, I'm going to get a little wacky. I'm going to take the 5 horse Kate Sun. I'm going to go 5-2-1 in the TriCast trifecta. 5-2-1 TriCast trifecta. The top selection of 5 horse Kate Sun, 6-year-old gelded by Black Sam Bellamy. Sean Bowen gets the leg up for Tom Lacey. This horse hasn't been seen since mid-February. They came at Haydock, 3 miles in the Grade 2 Albert Bartlett prestigious Novice Hurdle, where he finished 7th by 22 lengths, and he weakened out of it. He had a few blunders that day, which probably, hampered his run. It wasn't his day to win. Before that, on the 29th of December at Newbury, 2 miles 9/16 in the Grade 1 Betway Shallow Novice Hurdle. And he finished third by 1 1/4 lengths. Kind of weakened out of it right before the wire, but he jumped well during the main body of the race. It wasn't the world's worst run for him. And then at Newbury on the 30th of November, 2 miles and 9/16 in a Class 3 Novice Hurdle. He did everything right. He won by 1 3/4 lengths. He jumped well. It was like an easy walk in the park. Probably the race before was even easier at Chapstown, a 2 miles 7/16 Class 5 main hurdle, where he won by 3.5, and he went away with it. He went here last year at Aintree and the Weatherby Racing Bank bumper. And he finished second by 3 1/4 lengths, and the winner ran a hell of a race. But this horse, he did stay the distance well and quickened up a little bit. But I like him over the hurdles here today. Throughout the Haydock race, if he jumps well today, I think he's a live horse. So at 12-1, I'll take him. So to recount my selections for the second, the 225 from Aintree, it's the Grade 1 Mercies Novice Hurdle. I'm going to go with the 5-horse Kate Sun. I'm going to go 5-2-1 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. Let's get the 3 o'clock, the third race from Aintree. It is the Grade 1 Doombar Mughole Novices Chase. It's a Grade 1 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $128,000. Races for 5-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses going 3,200 meters or 2 miles over the chase course. My top selection here, I'm going to take the 5-horse Layler. I'm going to go 5-7-3 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 5-7-3 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, 5-horse Layler. The 7-year-old gelded by Itch Gino. Richard Johnson gets like a fur. Kaylee Woolcott. The horse's most recent outing came the 12th of March at Cheltenham. 2 miles in the Grade 1 Racing Post Argyle Challenge Trophy. He didn't finish that day. It was a very weird run. He should have did a lot better, but he never was comfortable. He never got around the race course well. That's a head-scratcher race. I watched him many times, and I just can't come to a conclusion, why he just was so crap. But if you take out that race, he's been pretty good other than that. But something I have noticed, in his running line, he'll always run these shit races here and there. So maybe that was a shit race, but when he comes back after the shit races, he really does a lot better. Before that, he ran on the 8th of December at Sandown, a mile 15/16 in Grade 1 Henry Novices Chase. Henry the 7th, I believe, or Henry the 8th Novice Chase. He finished third by 12 lengths. He had a few mistakes that day, which probably cost him, and he never got around that good tough course at Sandown. Then back at Cheltenham back in November, 2 miles into Grade 2 Racing Post Argyle Trot Novice Chase. He won by 7, first off the break. It was like they walked the dog. It doesn't get any easier than that. But, the competition wasn't so tough, but he still won very nicely. And then he ran here last year at Aintree over the hurdles in the Grade 1 Betway Top Novices Hurdle. He won by 2.5, and, he just quickened up nicely. It was a very easy run. Coming here again, throughout the Cheltenham race, I think he's a lot better horse than that Cheltenham race, and I think he'll stay the distance, and I think he'll run well, so at 9-2, I'll take him. So to recount my selections for the third, the 3 o'clock from Aintree, it's the Grade 1 Doombar Mughole Novices Chase. I'll take the 5-horse Layler. I'll go 5-7-3 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta to race 4. Race number 4 from Aintree, the 340. It's the Grade 1 Ryanair Hurdle. It's a Grade 1 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $230,500. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 15 horses going 3 miles and 1/8 over the hurdle course. I'm trying to beat its favorite Apples, Jade. I tried beating her a few times this season, and she's won in those starts 20 lengths, 26 lengths, and 16 lengths. But I did beat her, even though my horse didn't win. I did beat her at Cheltenham, but, still my horse didn't win there. But I'm going to try and beat her again today, because I think she's going to be, this longer trip, I'm not sure. And no, my luck, she'll run the massive race for life. But I want to get a little bit of a better price, and I think you can find it with the 3-horse if the cap fits. I'm going to go 3-14-7 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta here. 3-14-7 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection of 3-horse if the cap fits. Sean Bones on this Harry Fry trained 7-year-old gelded by Milan. The horse's most recent appearance came the 24th of February at Fontwell. 2 miles 3/8 in the Grade 2 National Spirit Hurdle. He finished second by 1.5 lengths there. He jumped well. He had a good turn of foot. I do think the distance was a little bit too short. I think the trip to the extended 3 miles today should really suit him a lot, and I think he's going to love that extra trip. Before that, the 26th of December at Kempton, 2 miles in the Grade 1 Christmas Hurdle, he finished third by 6 lengths. And again, distance was too short, but he jumped around the race course well. It was a okay effort. And then at Ascot, November the 24th, 2 miles 3/8 in the Grade 2 Coral Hurdle, he won by 1.5. He finally got a right trip. He jumped well, and he had a very easy run. And then the Grade 2 Elite Hurdle at Wincanton, a mile 7/8, November the 10th. He finished second by 2.25 lengths there. He jumped well, but again, the trip was a little bit too short, but it wasn't nothing, it was a decent effort, first off a long break. But I think coming here, finally getting the 3-mile trip, good weight. I think he's sitting on a good run. So if there's a horse that could be Apple's J today, I think it's going to be him at 6-1. So I'll take my chances here. I'll definitely throw an each way wager on him. But to recap my selections for the fourth now, the 420 from Aintree, or excuse me, the 340 from Aintree. We're not up to the 420 yet, but it's the 340 from Aintree, the fourth race. It's the Grade 1 Ryanair Hurdle. I'll take the 3 horse if the cap fits, and I'll go 314.7 in the trifecta. Let's get to race number 5. The 420, the 5th race from Aintree. It is the Grade 3 Betway Handicap Chase. It's Grade 3 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $96,000, race for 5-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 18 horses, going 3 miles and 1/8 over the chase course. My top selection here will be 2 horses because it's a very wide open race. The 2 horses I like would be the 1 horse Kilda Starts and the number 10 horse here, Polydora. So I would go 110 here. I'll put them all into an exact box for forecast box, possibly in each way on both of them, but they both most definitely can be used in the place pot. But we'll start off with the 1 horse Kilda Start. 7-year-old gelding by Dubai Destination. Daryl Jacob gets leg up for Ben Pauling. This horse hasn't been seen since 14th of March. That came at Cheltenham, 2 miles and 1/2 in the Grade 1 JLT Novice Chase. He finished 4th by 12 lengths there, and he just couldn't get that good kick, but that was a Grade 1 race. Coming here, even with the weight penalty, I think I'll just run a lot better. Also, the longer trip should help this one. Before that, at Cheltenham on 26th of January, 2 miles 5/8 in a Class 2 Novice Handicap Chase. He won by 2 lengths there. He jumped well. He quickened up nicely. He had to be used a lot to get the run, but he still won very nicely. And then at Ascot, 2 miles 5/8 in a Class 2 Graduation Chase. He won by a nose. Again, another race he had to be used a lot at the end, but he still got the money. And then his first Class 3 Novice Chase at Ascot back in November 23rd, 2 miles 3/8. He finished second by half length, and it took a lot for him to get going. He did go a little bit straight at the end, but it was a little bit too late. First off the break, he probably needed the run. He has started here at Aintree in the past over the hurdles, but that was probably one of his worst races ever. Like even the Grade 1 Mersey's Novice Hurdle last year, where he finished 9th by 50 lengths, and he ran absolutely crap. Never getting into it. It was just a shit race. I just hope that was because of his inexperience at the time. This season, he's coming to this race a lot better, and like I said, I think it's 6-1. Even with the heavyweight, he can get the job done. So I'll use him along with the 10 horse Polydora. Tom Scudamore gets leg up for Tom Lacey, the 7-year-old gelding by Milan. This horse hasn't been seen since the 16th of March at Uttoxeter. A 3 miles in a Class 2 Handicap Chase. He finished 4th by 9 1/4, and he kind of just weakened out of it a few from home. The ground was very waterlogged that afternoon, very heavy, sloppy, and I think that had something to do with it. I think the drier ground should really suit him today, and I think he'll just run a major improvement off a race. Before that, Newbury on the 29th of December, and again, quite wet ground, 2 mile 3/4 in a Novice Handicap Chase Class 3. He finished 3rd by 21 lengths, and the winner ran well, but this horse, he just couldn't get that good jump. He never had that. He never got to the next level there. And then at Newcastle, 2 miles 7/8 in Novice Handicap Chase Class 3, 1 by 1 1/4. He stayed well. He galloped out well. It was a very nice victory. He started here at Aintree in the past, most recently back in October at this course and distance, where he finished 3rd by 8 lengths. First off the break, he needed the race, and then he ran here last May on one of their Friday night fixtures, where he finished second by 3 1/4 lengths at this course and distance, and there he ran a massive race against slightly lesser quality horses, but he still ran well. So he could handle the course here, and I think at 8-1 low weight, he's another horse that could upset, so I'll use him most definitely. So to recap my selection for the 5th, the 420 from Aintree, it's the Grade 3 Betway Handicap Chase. I'll use the 1 horse Kilda Start, and I'll also use the 10 horse Polydora. I'll go 110, exact a forecast box, possibly in each way depending on the price, but most definitely can be used into the place pot. So now let's get on to race number 6, the big one from Aintree. The 5:15, the sixth race from Aintree, it's the big one. It is the Grade 3 Grand National Handicap Chase. It's a Grade 3 race for Class 1 horses going for a purse of just over $1.2 million. And that's in the American currency, so don't get confused. This race is for 7-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 40 horses going the distance of ground of 4 miles and 1/4 over the Grand National Course, a very treacherous course, and you will need a good horse to get around it. Since this is a very wide open race, I'll give you 4 horses that I think can win. I'll put them all into the exacta box. I'm most definitely use them in the place pot, and I think this is this is a good race. Let me get to the 4 horses here, because we're going to be talking a lot here. The 4 horses I'll use would be the 1 horse Annabelle Fly, the 9 horse who is Lakeview Lad. I'll definitely use the 13 horse Rath Vinden, and I'll also use the number 30 horse Single Farm Payment. He's going to be my price play at 30 to 1, my long shot play. So I will go 1, 9, 13, 30. So 1, 9, 13, 30. We'll start off with the number 1 horse, Annabelle Fly. BJ Garrity was supposed to get the leg up, but he was injured yesterday at Aintree. So they'll have a new rider. I believe it's Mark Walsh, but don't trust me 100% on that one. But I think it might be Mark Walsh. But this 9-year-old gelding by Assessor here, his most recent outing came the 15th of March at Cheltenham, 3 miles and a quarter in the Grade 1 Cheltenham Gold Cup Chase. He finished second by 2.5 lengths. The winner just ran a hell of a race, but this horse, he ran, a shockingly good race. He jumped well, he stayed the distance well. It was a very good run. Before that, Ireland or Gowan, 2 miles and a half in the Grade 2 Red Mills Chase. He finished second by 2 lengths, and again, the winner ran well, but he stayed the trip. It was a decent effort, and then a cork 2 miles and 1/8 in the Kerrygold Hill Way Chase. He finished 6th by 23 lengths. He didn't weaken out of it, but he didn't quicken out of it either. He just stayed the trip. He ran this race last year, and he had a decent 4th place finish by 11 lengths. A little bit at the end, he, weakened out of it, but he jumped during the main portion of the race. I think he'll stay the trip today. He has a little bit of a higher weight than last year. He's the heavyweight of 164 pounds, but I think he's a live horse, so I'll use him here, along with the number 9 horse here, Lakeview Lad. This 9-year-old gelding by Oscar gets the leg up of Henry Brook here for Nick Alexander. This horse was seen on the 12th of March most recently at Cheltenham, 3 miles and 1/8 in the Grade 3 Ultimate Handicap Chase. He finished 3rd by 9.25 lengths there. The 2 in front of him just ran that little bit of a better race, but he did stay the trip. It wasn't the world's worst race for him. Before that, Weatherby on the 26th of December, 3 miles in the Roland Mayrick Chase Handicap Chase. He won by 4. He stayed the trip well. He quickened up nicely. That was a very good run. And then before that, he ran at Newcastle, 2 miles 7/8 in a listed handicap chase. He won by 2 3/4. And again, he just won for fun. He's another horse. He'll stay the trip. He's going to get a good going. He has a good weight, and I think he's alive along with the number 13 horse here, Rathvinden, 7-year-old gelding by Huron Island. Ruby Walsh gets Slager for Willie Mullins. This horse hasn't been seen since the 23rd of February. They came at Ferry House, 3 miles and 1/8 in the Grade 3 Victor Bobby Joe Chase. The horse went by 3.5 there, and he just ran easily, jumped well. He off the break. It didn't even look like this horse was off the break because he just won for fun. A very easy race. I think here's second off the break. I'm very excited to see what he could do because, like I said, that last race didn't take a lot out of him. He gets a low weight, but he is an old man. But I think he is live here. Before that, last April, Punchestown, 3 miles and a 16th in the Grade 1 Grousey Champion Novice Chase. He finished 4th by 7.25 lengths there. The 2 in front of him just ran that little bit of a better race, but he did jump well during the main body of the race. And then at Cheltenham last year, 4 miles in Grade 2 National Hunt and Amateur Rider Novice Chase. He won by a half length. He stayed the trip, and he just won very nicely. He got up the hill well. It was a very good run, and then he ran at Leopardstown 2018 in February in the Grade 1 Flogish Novice Chase, where he didn't finish. He lost Patty Mullins. What can you do there? But I think, like I said, that last run up the Ferry House is very impressive, and I think he's a live horse. If I had to give you a top selection of all these 4 horses, it would probably be him. Probably out of all the 4 horses, what I'm most definitely going to do an each way wager would probably be on Rathwind and Ruby Walsh. I'll take him at 8-1. You don't see Ruby Walsh at 8-1 in a graded race very often, so when you see it, you better take it. So I'll use this horse here, even though his record's not good at this race, I know. But we'll get on to my other horse here, my long shot play, which would be the 30 horse. You don't say that a lot here in America, the number 30 horse. before I get on to more to the single farm payment, the 30 horse here in America, you have one race that's over a 14 horse field or 16 horse field. Occasionally, you'll see every so often, but you have one race, and that's the most horse you'll see in a race here in America is 20 horses. That's Kentucky Derby coming up in about 4 weeks. Other than that, it's all at the most 14, 12 horses. So handicapping a 40 horse field for me is very weird at times. But I've been doing it for 10 years now for YouTube, probably 15 years for the rest of the altogether. But these races are very fun. If you're American watching these races, you better look over this race very well. So let's get to the next horse, single farm payment. And the number 30 horse single farm payment. Did you notice that jump cut? Sorry, my cats were fighting outside my door, and it sounded like the cat needed help, and he didn't. They always do stupid things when I'm doing these videos, especially on the big days. But the 30 horse single farm payment, Paddy Brennan gets the leg up for Tom George's 9-year-old gelding by Milan here. He's 50 to 1 last I saw. His most recent outing came 12th of March at Cheltenham, 3 miles and 8th in the Grade 3 Ultimate Handicap Chase, and he finished 13th by 42 lengths. It was his first off the break, and he needed the race. He never got into it. He never jumped well toward the backpack most race. Like I said, I think he needs the race. He is stepping up in class here to this one, but he's going to get a longer trip, which he'll suit, and he's going to run second off the break, which I think will be another thing for this horse to do well. And I think he's sitting on a decent effort. Before that, the 14th of December at Cheltenham, 3 miles and a quarter in the Grade 3 CF Roberts 25 years of sponsorship handicap chase. He finished second by a head, and he jumped very well. He just missed at the end, but he ran a massive race there. And then before that, 17th of November at Cheltenham, 3 miles and 3/8, and the Grade 3 Bet Victor handicap chase. He finished fourth by 6.5 lengths. He jumped well, but he needed that extra kick. He ran a massive race last April at Cheltenham in a handicap chase on very firm ground on a very hot day. He finished second by a nose. The winner, another hero, just got that another late stride at the end, but again, he just missed. If there's a horse that's going to be closing on the run-in, I think it's going to be him. If he gets around the race course safely, I think he's a horse that he has great turns of foot, and I think the flatness of this course should suit him. And I think 50 to 1, he's the kind of long shot play you want in this race. He's a horse that definitely is in the place pot. But now to recap my selections for the featured sixth race from Aintree. The 5:15, it's the Grade 3 Grand National. I'm going to use the 1 horse Annabelle Fly. I'll use the 9 horse Lakeview Lad. I'll use the 13 horse Rathvinden. And I'll use the 30 horse Single Farm Payment. So those numbers were 1, 9, 13, 30. If I had to give you a top selection out of all 4 of them, it would probably be the 13 horse Rathvinden. But like I said, I'll probably put them all into an exacta forecast box. Most definitely do an each way on Rathvinden and probably Single Farm Payment because it's massive odds, but I'll definitely use all 4 of them in the place pot. So now let's get to the 620, the 7th race from Aintree, the finale. The 7th race, the 620 from Aintree, it's the nightcap. It is the Pinsense Mason's Handicap Hurdle. It's a conditional handicap hurdle for the conditional or amateur riders. It's a Class 2 event going for a purse of $64,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 22 horses going 2 miles and a 16th or 3,200 meters over the hurdle course. Top selection here, I'll take the 4 horse Lord Yeats. I'm going to go 410 in the forecast exacta. 410 forecast exacta, but the top selection is the 4 horse Lord Yeats. This 6-year-old gelding by Yeats, probably one of the best stayers of the new millennium, I think. Tom Dawson gets leg up on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 14th of March at Haydock on heavy ground, 2 miles on a Class 4 Novice Hurdle. He won by 5 there. He was 17 cents to the dollar, and it doesn't get any easier than that. He jumped well. It was a very easy run first off the break. Before the 13th of January, Kelso, 2 miles on a Class 4 Novice Hurdle, and he finished second by 1 1/4 lengths there. He had a little bit of a turn of foot, but he did jump well during the main portion of the race. And then at Sedgefield on Boxing Day, 2 miles and 8th in a Class 4 main hurdle. He broke the main by 16, and it doesn't get any easier than that. It's a very good run. Coming here to Aintree for the first time shouldn't be a problem. He ran over the flat last summer, and not here at Aintree, but off subject, back to this horse. He ran over the flat, and he did decently in some flat races. But when he's come over to the hurdles, he's done he's done everything right. I think he'll stay the trip. He has a good low weight, and he's had the best races as of late out of any of these horses. So at 5-1, I'll take him. Maybe I'll double up do some parlays with my Grand National horses with this one because I'm quite fond of this one. But to recap my selection for the 7th is 620 from Aintree. Gonna take the 4-horse Lord Yeats. I'm gonna go 410 in the forecast exacta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.